Hey membershipers, before we dive in, I just want to let you know that early bird tickets for Retain Live are on sale now, but only until April 30th. If you've never heard of it, Retain Live is our in-person conference exclusively for membership site owners, and it's happening this September in the UK. It's 2 full days of practical sessions, expert speakers, masterminds, and incredible networking with your fellow membership business owners, and it's all focused on helping you to attract, engage, and retain more members and build a successful membership business that lasts. Whether you've just recently launched or you're ready to scale, this is the place to be if you want to grow a thriving membership business. But early bird pricing disappears after April 30th, so head over to retainlive.com to grab your ticket today. Hey there, membershipers. Welcome to a new episode of the Membership Geeks podcast. I'm your host, Mike Morrison, and you are listening to the #1 show for proven practical tips and advice on growing a successful membership business. If it's your first time listening, first of all, welcome. I'm so glad you found us. You have tapped into a treasure trove of membership strategy, tactics, marketing, growth advice, and everything you could possibly want to shake a stick at, with over 400 episodes, many of which, even those going all the way back to 2015, still stand the test of time today in terms of evergreen best practice and strategy. So you're going to want to dive in, but first and foremost, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button to ensure you do not miss a single episode of the show. If you're a long-term listener, if you've been subscribed for a while, you know I love and appreciate you for each and every second of your attention and your time that you give me. If you can spare me just a minute or two of that time to leave a nice shiny review, ideally with 5 stars, to let me know what you enjoy most about the show, how it's helped you, if you've got a particular result after implementing certain advice, I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you do leave me a review. I try and read each and every one of them personally, but hit me up on social media at Membership Geeks so I can thank you myself for your feedback and for your support of the show. Every review you leave helps us to reach more people and helps us to know that we're doing the right thing and we're on the right track in guiding you with your membership. All right, speaking of which, today we are tackling a question that I get asked a lot, and I have been asked a lot over the years. Does my membership site need a mobile app? I'm going to save you the suspense. No, your membership does not need its own mobile app. Can I end the episode there? Will you just accept that as my answer? No, probably not. I wouldn't either. So we're going to dig in to why you don't need an app, why so many people assume that they need one, and the rare situations in which it might actually make sense. If you've been toying with the idea of developing a mobile app for your membership, this episode will hopefully give you the clarity that you need. So let's dive in. So let's start with the biggest factor, cost. A high quality mobile app is expensive. A fairly straightforward custom app for your membership is going to cost at least $20,000, and if you want something that actually packs a punch, you're probably looking at 6 figures. Now, there are some cheap services out there that will appify your membership, but let's be honest, these are usually just clunky wrappers for the mobile version of your website, or they are standalone separate platforms that aren't actually connected directly to your membership, where they have limited features and you end up having to duplicate content and re-upload stuff. They don't have the unique functionality you'd expect from your own membership site. If you want a real app, you have to invest big, and for the majority of memberships, the return on that investment just isn't there for a variety of reasons. And even if you do develop an app, you've got to consider how you're going to distribute it. If you're thinking of listing it in the App Store, if you're thinking, okay, well, I get my apps from the App Store, surely I just put my memberships app in there. Well, be prepared for Apple to take a hefty cut of your revenue and dictate how, or even if you can sell your membership within the app. They've got really strict rules around in-app payments and subscriptions, and they will enforce them. This could mean that you end up losing a big chunk of your membership revenue just for the privilege of being in their store, and you might not even be able to reap the rewards of selling your membership through the app itself to people who aren't already subscribed through your main website. For most membership owners, that's just not a viable option. But really, do you even need an app? Let's talk about how people actually use mobile apps. How many apps have you downloaded that just sit there neglected? Other than the big ones like social media, messaging, and essential utilities, niche apps for individual websites tend to end up on the 4th or 5th swipe of the home screen, or tucked away in a folder labelled Other Stuff. For most memberships, your members are simply not going to be opening an app regularly enough to justify the sort of investment it'll take. A lot of people think that they need an app so that their membership is accessible on mobile, but here's the thing. Almost every website today is optimized for mobile use. That's just the standard. And the average user is already accustomed to browsing websites on the browser on their mobile phones. They're already accustomed to logging into sites, consuming content, interacting with those websites through their mobile browser. Your members can and will just go to your website on their phone even without an app. And if you want to make it even easier, you don't even need an app for that. Of course, it's nice and convenient if you can have a cool little icon on people's phones that they just click and bam, they're straight at your membership site. But you can do that without an app. It's real easy. They are simple WordPress plugins or just giving your members basic instructions to show them how to add a shortcut to your mobile-friendly website directly on their home screen. So it sits on their phone with an app-like icon. They click it, it goes straight to the website, it's mobile-friendly already, and you've got most of what you probably want from an app experience without spending a fortune on development. Simply Google how to add a website to my home screen. That does most of the work for you. Now, one of the biggest advantages to having a mobile app is push notifications. Being able to ping members with reminders to log in, to complete courses, to engage with content, to see what's new. This would be undeniably useful, and it's definitely the one strong argument in most cases for having an app, those push notifications. But is that alone worth the cost? Probably not. You can already reach your members in other ways through email, through text messaging, or even integrating with third-party tools that will ping out little reminders to them. And let's be real, how many people actually pay attention to their push notifications? Around 40% of users don't even opt in to receive notifications from a new app when they install it. And even if they do, you're not going to be able to message them as much as you might think you can. A study reports that receiving just 2 to 5 weekly push notifications is enough to cause subscribers to disable them entirely. 46% of users disable those notifications and 32% uninstall the app if they get more than 6 notifications in a week. So even if you do have an app, there's a high chance your push notifications will either never be turned on, will be turned off, or even if they get through, they'll just be lost in the sea of other notifications that they have from every other app on their phone that, being real, people usually just bulk dismiss without reading. They hit that clear all button and they're gone. Now, are there cases where a membership app does make sense? Absolutely. If your membership is heavily video-based and your audience needs offline access to those videos, then an app could be beneficial. Fitness memberships in particular are a great example where members might want to download workout videos and watch them at the gym where there might not be Wi-Fi, or they might have Wi-Fi but there might be limitations on streaming videos. They don't want it buffering when you are holding up a massive weight over your head, right? So in cases like this, having an app that allows for offline access and seamless playback could add real value to your membership. But even then, it's not something you need from day one. If your business grows to the point where an app makes sense, you can explore it further down the line when you have the resources to actually invest in doing it properly. But do your members even want an app? Have you actually asked them? In over a decade, running my Membership Academy and working with tens of thousands of membership owners, I can count on one hand the number of people who've genuinely expressed a need for an app. We survey our members and our non-members regularly, and the reality is the demand just isn't there. The people who suggest it, it's always suggested as a nice to have, not as a difference maker. This will differ in different markets. My membership's B2B, other markets will have a greater demand, but before you even think about investing in an app, ask yourself, do I have any solid evidence that this would significantly move the needle for my membership, that this is wanted enough to justify the investment? If you've been feeling like you're behind the times or missing out by not having a mobile app, don't worry, you're not. For the vast majority of membership sites, the cost of developing an app far outweighs the benefits. And after helping over 10,000 memberships inside the Academy, I can safely say that not one of them had their business revolutionized by dropping $100,000 on a mobile app. So, unless you have a clear, compelling reason why an app would transform your member experience so significantly compared to what you can already do by having a mobile-friendly version of your website, unless you have that clear, compelling reason, go ahead and cross this one off your to-do list. You've got better things to focus on. All right, that is it for today's episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you considered building an app for your membership? Do you have one? Has it made a difference? Do you have an app where you've used a service where for $50 a month they turn your website into an app? How have you found that? Does anyone bother? Are you considering investing real money in an app? Or maybe you spent a lot of money and it turned out to be a disaster. Perhaps it was the best thing your membership ever did. I would love to hear from you. Hit me up across social media at Membership Geeks, or if you're an Academy member, let's keep the conversation going inside the community. But that is a wrap from us. If you want that expert guidance on growing a successful membership, if you want that guidance on the other things you should be focusing on outside of worrying about needing an app, come join us inside Membership Academy, where we help you to cut through the noise and focus on what really moves the needle. Thanks as ever for tuning in. I'll see you next time on the Membership Geeks podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Membership Geeks podcast and you're serious about growing a thriving membership business, then you need to be at Retain Live 2025, our in-person conference designed exclusively for membership site owners. It's happening this September in my hometown of Newcastle upon Tyne here in the UK, and it's 2 full days of real-world strategies, expert speakers, and practical insights to help you attract more members, boost engagement, and massively improve retention. You'll connect with like-minded creators, get clarity on your next steps, and walk away fired up with ideas that you can actually implement. This is not a typical business or marketing conference. Retain Live is built around the unique challenges and opportunities of running a membership. And right now you can still grab your ticket at the early bird price, but only until April 30th. So don't wait, head to retainlive.com and get yourself booked in. I'd love to see you there.